Hi, this is Matt at Austin Canoe and Kayak. What we have for you today is the FeelFree Lure 11.5. We've got the new Overdrive system and we're going to show you how to install it.
The FeelFree Lure is a great fishing kayak with excellent features and upgradability. This video will show you everything you need to know to install the FeelFree Overdrive system and all supporting accessories, including a rudder, hand steering, and seat adjuster. Start off this installation by getting all of your parts together and cleaning up your workspace. This will make everything go smoothly throughout the installation process and ensure your success. Next, fit the bushing into the rudder hole in back of your boat. Hammer the bushing into the hole until it is as far as it can go. Then we can slide the rudder set into the bushing, taking care to place the plastic washer over the main rudder pin before sliding it into place. Next, feed the spectra cord through the inside cable tube in the boat. Push the cord through until it comes out the other end of the cable tube. Now we can install the rudder elevation control handle and cable cleat. Attach the cable cleat to the boat in front of the opening of the cable tube and screw the cleat in with the included self-tapping screws. You can now use a drill to get these going, but it's a good idea to tighten the screws by hand with a screwdriver so you don't strip the hole and have to start over. Now, feed the spectra cord through the cleat and run it through the SmartTrack plastic ball. This will become the pull for the rudder elevation control. Make a knot thick enough that the pole cannot slip past the cord. For a cleaner installation, burn the freshly cut cord to prevent the cord from splitting. Now we can move on to the rudder control cables. Start off by attaching the rudder control steel pulleys. Insert the lock rod from the bottom of the rudder set and through the steel pulleys such that the steel pulleys are on top of the set. Secure the pin and pulley with the locking ring. Make sure to push the lock ring all the way through. You will do this for both sides. Next, unravel the rudder control cable and feed it through the remaining cable tubes in the boat. Once through at the back of the boat, slide the shrink tube and a cable crimp over the ends of the cable. This will be for later. Run the cable through the corresponding pulley. Now we'll feed back the cable through the cable crimp and the shrink tube, forming a loop. Pull the cable tight through the crimp and push the crimp up until the loop is as tight as possible. Using a pair of end cutting nippers or some other crimping tool, crimp the cable crimps tight and pull the shrink tube over the newly crimped cable end. Use a heat gun or a lighter to tighten the shrink tube over the crimp. Cut the excess cable as short as possible. Lastly, secure the main rudder pin with the rudder pin lock clip and test everything out. Your rudder kit is now installed, and we can move on to the hand control system. The hand steering system kit comes with everything you need to add hand steering to a rudder-equipped kayak. We will begin by removing the foot pegs. We do this to allow for the necessary space for this installation. Next, go ahead and remove lower steering control arm from the main assembly. For safekeeping, we can go ahead and attach the upper steering control arm to the lower steering control arm. The assembled steering control arm assembly should be able to swivel at the joint. Next, we will continue to disassemble the main assembly. We will fit for placement of the hand steering system with the back plate of the main assembly. Line up the back plate with the side of the kayak and install the plate with the included self-tapping screws. While you do this, you can also go ahead and install the cable anchor. Now we can line up the control cable. First, ensure the rudder is pointing as if the boat were turning to the right. This will ensure the proper length of cable is used for this step. Run the cable through the back plate to ensure proper length and slip on the shrink tube and cable crimp. Form a loop around the cable anchor and cinch it tight with the crimp, using end-cutting nippers or some other crimping tool to secure the cable and trim off the excess. Next, we'll begin to reassemble the main assembly. Begin with the steering lever and main roller by inserting the block such that the cable goes over the main roller but under the lever. Then, attach the steering minor roller over the wire onto the steering lever as shown. Reassemble the housing by bolting the steering front cover back onto the back plate. At this point, we can also go ahead and reattach the steering control arm. Now we can move to the other side of the boat where we will install the remainder of this kit. Make sure that the rudder is turned hard left for this step. We will begin by attaching the button 40 centimeter or 16 inches away from the cable tube opening. This will serve as an anchor for our tensioner. Once securely in place, move on to disassemble the bungee tensioner. Once the top plate is off, run the control cable through the bungee tension plates and reassemble the tensioner, making sure to leave the screws a bit loose. Then adjust the tensioner and cable such that there is about a ½ inch of space from the cable tube to the tensioner. Once in place, tighten the screws on the bungee tensioner plates such that the tensioner is firmly attached to the cable. Now is a good time to go ahead and test out the rudder to make sure the cable lengths are correct before moving on. Once that is done and you are sure of the placement of the components, crimp and cut the cable as close as possible to the tension plates near the bungee. The hand steering system is now fully installed. This kit will add the ability to adjust the seat on your FeelFree Lure kayak. Start off by removing the seat from your kayak. Next, we'll take the seat rail adjuster frame and set it in position. It should just go right into place with minimal finagling. Remove the seat mounting hardware, but set it to the side for later. Now let's go ahead and install the aluminum bushings into the seat. The bushings are tapered and fit snugly into the holes in the bottom railing of the seat with a hammer. Make sure they are as near to flush with the opening as possible. Next, we'll loosely attach the lock plates to the seat rail adjuster frame. We don't want to tighten these all the way down just yet. Slide the seat railing between the seat rail adjuster frame and screw in the step bolt and washer bore. Now we can line up and tighten the lock plate bolts in place. Use the bolts we initially took out from the old seat mounts to secure the lock plates tightly against the boat and the seat rail adjuster frame. The seat adjuster kit installation is finished. Test out the chair adjuster and make sure operation is smooth and simple. The FeelFree Overdrive system is an easy way to make your boat faster and easier to maneuver. The Overdrive system comes in a protective plastic case which houses everything you need to complete the installation. The case houses the main pedal drive set, left and right pedals, and all required hardware. For this installation, you will also need to print and cut out the template included with the installation instructions. Begin the installation by removing the button located in front of the hatch. You'll need to reach into the hatch in order to do this. Next, line up the template and use a marker to mark the location of the drill holes. It is very important to get the placement of the holes correct, as without proper placement, the Overdrive system will not install correctly. Proceed to drill out the holes with a 5mm drill bit. Once completed, attach the boat bucket lock in place using the accompanying hardware. Now we can go ahead and place the Overdrive system into the boat. Attach the pedals in opposite orientations and bolt them into place. Then, attach the locking mechanism to the foot of the drive system and lock the drive into place by tightening the bolt. Engage the locks on the side of the Overdrive system to secure the mechanism in place.
All right, well, I appreciate you joining us today. That was the installation for the FeelFree Overdrive system. Anyone interested should just follow ack.com. Let us outfit your adventure.